Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jade and this is the third part of this series, 100 Things That I Love About Finland. I already made part 1 and 2 and I'll be able to reach to the first 46 things that I love about this country. So if you have not watched these videos, I'm just gonna include the link above so that you can just go and watch. I'm not gonna spend a lot of the time in this introduction, so if you just want to jump to a specific section that you are mainly interested to learn about, just please check in the description below. I'm gonna include all of the timestamps so that you can just jump to that part, or maybe just start watching this video and then continue with your day, and then maybe come back a little bit later on to, continue watching from the point that you left the last time that you were watching this video. So I have been able to cover already 46 that I love about this country, and I'm gonna continue this video from the thing number 47. And the 47th thing that I love about Finland is the financial support that the institution of KELA provides. And this has been really mind-blowing. I couldn't understand really much about KELA when I first came to Finland, but KELA is this type of organization that really takes care of the society and of the people in Finland. And as a foreigner, as a non-EU citizen, I was of course not entitled to get this type of support. Now that I have an A residence permit, I am entitled to get this type of support, but because I do have a full-time job and I earn, let's say, enough, I am not entitled to get all of the support. I actually, as a master's student, I'm just getting the student loan. That it's a loan that KELA provides for people that are studying a degree, and basically you get a loan and then you can pay it back after you are, done with your studies. But besides the student loan, there's so many different types of financial support that KELA gives to the people, to Finns, obviously, and to EU citizens that then later on come to reside to Finland, or to foreigners that have achieved the, the nationality, the permanent residence, or the residence permit type A, which is the one that I currently have. And there's a lot of types of support. They gave student support. That means, student support means an amount of money that students are given during the time that they are students, because obviously they want kind of support that in a way that the students would have a little bit more of money to cover their expenses, especially if they are not working during their studies. Then there's also another type of support that it is the housing support. So this housing support, you don't only get it while you're a student, you can literally get it all the time. So they also give you housing support there. Then there is also if you don't make enough money to cover your life expenses, then there's this kind of support that in Finnish it's called toimeentulotuki. That if you don't earn enough, then this organization KELA can give you a little bit more of support so that you can actually have enough money to pay for your life, have a nice life. And there is really very many different things that this beautiful organization KELA makes. And when I really start to understand that, oh my God, really people can get support to, pay for have a living, to rent a house. People can get support to, just I'm a student and I need some cash, or I don't earn enough, so I need some sort of support. I was what? I personally think, I don't know how to feel about it. I definitely 100% love this idea. And I think that this is just so beautiful that Finland has this kind of organization. I personally feel bad when I have met people that kind of take advantage of the system. And I feel that that's pretty sad. But when I really see the bigger picture of, where has this kind of system taken Finland, to which kind of place has this system taken Finland, I can definitely see that even though there are so many things that could still be improved, there is overall the situation is good. Like I feel, as I have mentioned in the other videos, like I feel that people are giving opportunities, like a lot of opportunities. People don't have to worry about, you know, having a good quality of life, or at least like an okay quality of life. Food is not like, you know, people are not gonna like die of hunger here, or people are not gonna not have a place to live. And if I see, you know, yeah, that sure, there, in my personal opinion, I have met people that I feel they take advantage of the system. And is that something that I feel it's not good? Yes. Do I feel that overall the country is in a really, really good situation when I like, you know, compare the pros and the cons? I definitely think that the pros like really, really, really overweight the cons. So that's the 47th thing that I love about Finland, the KELA system and the support that their residents are given. The thing number 48, it's all about, and this also has to do with KELA, but it is like all of the student discounts that people get in Finland. Like, do students get discounts? Come on. Now, we are not talking here about like, you know, huge amounts of money in discounts, but it's something like, it's important. It's like, it's not a huge amount, but it is relevant. In my personal opinion, it does make a difference. The student discounts really, you know, when you are a student in Finland, it doesn't matter whether you are a Finn or whether you are a foreigner. Once you are studying in a Finnish educational institution, you get your student card, and that the student card gives you the access to so many different discounts. You get to pay like a cheaper, you know, monthly bus card. You get discounts for eating in the restaurant. You get discounts for, you know, traveling in train. And there's like these different apps that are specifically for students where, you know, there are certain coupons or certain deals that are available for a student. And for as long as you have your student card, then you will be able to access those type of discounts. Now, then after that, like in Finland, like the student organizations also like arrange different types of, you know, deals with companies that are then available to their students. So for example, in Savonia, when I was myself a student, it's still similar nowadays, but you know, I'm not anymore a student. So of course, I mean, I am still a student, but I am not a student of Savonia. So I don't get access to those things. But for example, when I was a student in Savonia, we got also through the student union, we got access to cheaper movie tickets or cheaper tickets to go downhill skiing to a downhill center that it's like nearby Kuopio, which it's called Kasurila. So yeah, basically like a student is like, once you are a student in Finland, you get access to so many different student discounts. And I think this is like very relevant. There's this one specific discount that I'm like crazy in love with that I think it's like super special. That's why I'm making its own point. So the 49th thing that I love about Finland is the student meals. Now, student meals are that cheap because they are supported, you know, by KELA. It is supported by the government. It is not that, you know, just for students, we're going to put this price. There is someone that, you know, it's financially supporting that students can be offered this type of meals. And for example, when I was a university student, now I'm a master's student, and you know, as a master's student, I still get access to all of these student meals. The universities have a specific places, canteens, where students can go and eat. And with your student card, you get your meal for only €2.70. Last year, if I remember correctly, at some point last year, it was a little bit more expensive, but because of the COVID situation, the price was a little bit reduced. So now it's only like €2.70, like €2.70. And of course, you know, each university can have like different, you know, the number of restaurants may vary, the type of menus may vary. But for example, in the university where I study, there's with these €2.70, you always have access to like a vegetarian menu, a normal menu, Or then there's like in Savonia we have like 2 restaurants. So one it's called Round, the other it's called Bistro. And in Bistro there's always this like soup menu that you can get soup, or then you can also get they normally have something extra like burgers or pizza or something like that. And you can get that kind of menu for the €2.70. And that includes that you can get like, like some bread in Finland. Like, this is like so weird, but people in Finland eat like the bread and they put like butter in it. And it's kind of like they eat the bread with butter, like, it's so like, just like while eating, it is like very, very common to have like your food and then like bread with butter. Now I feel it's very normal. When I came here, I was just like, what am I supposed to do with this bread with butter? But I guess like, from a Mexican perspective, I guess like the bread with butter, it would equal like as a Mexican tortilla that we eat like a lot with just, a tortilla. Like and the tortilla is kind of like, or tortilla in Finnish, it's kind of like included in the way that we eat. So yeah, that was like, that's also what's included. And then of course your water or some universities actually offer it's called like koti olut or koti kalja, that it's basically like homemade beer. Or then, so you get from drinking options, you get like water, homemade beer. Not all the universities offer those, but I have seen some that do. Milk and juice. So basically, for €2.70 and you get your salad, you get your, like main meal, whatever the meal you're choosing, plus your water, plus your bread, and the opportunity to pay for, an extra cost for coffee, if that's something that you would be interested to get. I feel that's like fantastic. And that's one of the very, very, very big things that I love about Finland, because I was able to eat all of the time at the university, and for €2.70, I think that's just like a beautiful price to pay, and you get like a good variety. The food, in my opinion, it's not like to die for, but it's definitely not bad. And at least in Savonia, there is also the option to kind of like have a higher end type of meal, and that's just like 5 something with the student card. So options, you can find a lot. And with the student card, you just get to, you get access to these kind of options for like a cheaper price. The thing number 50 that I love about Finland, it's a student housing. And each city usually has this type of housing company, a student housing company. In the city where I live, which is Kuopio, there it's Kuopas, and there is like, I think like it's Tekma, the name of the other company. Well, there usually is like at least one, sometimes more than one student housing companies. And this is like so beautiful. And it's one of the things that I love the most about Finland. And it's because when you are a student, you get to rent an apartment from these student housing companies. Now, can you rent an apartment from other organizations? 100% you can. But when you are a student, you need your student certificate. And with your student certificate, you can apply to rent an apartment specifically for from these type of companies. For example, that I have lived in Kuopio and that I have studied in Kuopio for a very long time, I have always lived in Kuopas's apartments. And when I was in high school and when I was in university, I always lived in a shared type of apartment. So I always had like a one roommate. You can have like different types of apartments. You can decide to, be in an apartment where you just share the apartment with one person, or you can share the apartment even like with 2 or 3 persons. I only shared my apartment with like one person. And of course, with the more that you share, the cheaper it is. I have personally just been living in shared apartments that are shared with one person. And when I lived in those type of apartments, the rent was normally around 250 to 300 euros a month. And what it was like so beautiful about this type of apartments is that it usually includes like the apartment, and I'm talking now specifically about Kuopas, but similar companies have the similar conditions. But for example, it usually includes of course, the rent. Then it includes the electricity, the water, internet, storage place, and then also, I'm missing something, laundry. And a lot of these kind of places also have a common sauna where, you have like the shift for the men and shift for women. And then you can just, like go, or then you can like talk separately with the student housing company, and you can agree that, okay, well, I would like to have my own sauna shift. And then you pay a specific amount, and then you can use the sauna just for yourself without having to share it on that specific day of the week at that specific time. So that's also a possibility. And as I said, when I shared my apartment, or when I lived in a shared apartment with one person, the rent was around 250 to 300 euros a month, and I had like a shared kitchen, shared bathroom, and my room, normally the size of my room was like 12 square meters. At the moment, I'm living also in a Coapas apartment, but this one, it is, let me check, I wrote it down here. So I'm currently living in a apartment that has 2 rooms, 1 kitchen, and a balcony. It's 46 square meters, and I pay 700 a month for, to live here. And it includes, as I mentioned, all the electricity, the water, the storage, the laundry service, and all these type of like things that really, like the internet, that make my life so easy. And I think that it is very, very beautiful when you are on a student budget, that you get, for example, I am living in an apartment that has 2 rooms, but I might have as well just chose to live in a studio. And a studio apartments you can get, for example, for 500 euros, 550 euros. The prices vary, so you can always find something that will suit your budget. So student housing is something that I love, something that I'm super grateful for. There was a time where I was not yet a master's student, and I was not anymore living with my boyfriend. So there was like, for around maybe like 8 months, I live in my own apartment that I rented by myself, not from the student housing company. And this was like I think it was a little bit smaller than 46 square meters. I think it was maybe like 38. And I paid like around 850 euros a month. So that was, it was a very, very, very nice apartment, but it was definitely in a more expensive year side, especially when I compare it with the student apartments where I am living at the moment. And for as long as I am a master's student, or for as long as I get, a house then later on with my boyfriend. The thing number 51 that I love about Finland, it's the student loan. And so this, of course, again, is not going to apply for every single person, because the people that can get access to the student loan are people with, the permanent residence, the A residence permit, or with the nationality. But there is this student loan that's available. So not only does KELA support with monthly allowances, there is also the opportunity that you get a student loan that it's kind of like backed up by KELA. So you get your monthly support from KELA, support for being a student, support for your housing. And then you can also get the support, for example, well, it's not support, but the support to get yourself a student loan. And for example, like I, as a master's student, this is the first year that I have had like a student loan, and I got a little bit over 5,000 euros for the whole first year of master's studies. And then for the next year, I'm gonna get around the same. So it's like around 5K what you get per year. And this is a loan that you are personally getting from the bank. But this loan, it's kind of like backed up by the state. And you pay it once you graduate, but you don't pay it right away. You have, I think, like if I remember right, you have like 2 years before you have to start to pay back that loan. Now, can you pay it earlier? 100%, but you don't have to. You can also wait the 2 years and actually then just start paying, and the payment plans can be discussed according to what you're earning and according to what they are the possibilities. Now, a huge thing about this is that if you took the student loan and you graduate in time, then KELA will pay like a very big percentage of, the loan that you got. Now, it will definitely not pay all of it, but it will pay like a big part. It's around 40%, like around that mark of the total loan that you have. And there's a specific conditions, but the point is that if you graduate on time, KELA will pay part of that student loan that you got from the bank, so you don't have to pay all of the student loan back if you do graduate within the time frame that it's expected. If not, there is no problem. KELA will still support you in a way that, you still get access to that loan, but KELA is not gonna like pay anything for you because, you simply didn't graduate on time, which it's not the end of the world. It just means that you will have to pay back your full loan, and the interest rates are like very low. So that's like also another type of, support or conditions that are given when students get this type of a student loan. And I think that's like really, really beautiful. And then, as if that was not enough support, then there is also this support to get your first house. And I was very surprised to learn about this because, I don't know, maybe it is common in a lot of different countries. It was not common for me, but in Finland, there is something called the ASP account, so ASP, and it stands for a type of account that you open and that you start putting money where you start collecting money to get your first home. And so you start like saving at your own pace, and once you have collected the 10% of the value of the house that you want to get, then kind of like through this account or through this ASP account that you have in a specific bank, the bank will like give you the loan, the rest of the money, so that you can like buy your first house. Now, there is different amount of loan for the house that you can get according to where you live. Like people that live in the capital area get a little bit a bigger loan because obviously the prices of the houses are like way more expensive in the capital area compared to the people that do not live in the capital area, as it's my case. So the amount of loan for the house that you can get from the bank will depend on that. But the most important thing is that you can, start collecting and start saving your money in your ASP account. And then when you get the loan for buying the house, also the interest rate that you are offered for that loan, it's like very, very convenient. And this is just all because the system wants to support citizens or people that are buying their first home. So they, there's this kind of like extra generous support that comes from, offering a good interest rates. I've never heard anything about like this specific type of account that it's for homes. Probably it's like very common. I have my own one and I can't wait for the moment that I can buy my own house. But that's something that I have not heard about in other places. It's not like I have been living in many different countries, but that's something that when I learned, I thought that was very, very beautiful. And I really, really like that about this country. Now, we arrived to the thing number 53. And the 53 thing that I love about Finland is that youngsters really get the chance to become independent faster. And that is because of all this support that I have already talked about for the most part of this video. And also because of the opportunity to work, which I am very sure it's something that I have also covered in other of my videos. But youngsters really get the opportunity, to get really good money from their summer jobs. They get the opportunity to collect good amounts of cash from just working a part-time job, even when they don't have a degree. And then they also get all this KELA support that supports with the housing, that supports with, you being a student, and that supports you with the chance to get a student loan if you want to have more financial freedom during your studies, and then maybe just pay that loan back when you have like an actual work as an adult, full time, right? So I feel like this really, really supports people since a very, very young age to leave independently. I studied my high school in Finland, and I was with classmates that, from the age of 16, 17, they were living like alone in their own apartments because, maybe they were from a smaller town and then they moved to this city and they were living alone in their apartments. And they were, of course, they do get the cash also from their parents, but they also get like, they're entitled immediately to all the support that KELA provides. And with their summer jobs, with the support from the nation, they are more capable, to be more like parent independent from a really, really young age. And I think that's like something very, very beautiful. And it's something that, something that I could never see happening in Mexico. Well, no, it's not like I could never see happening in Mexico. It's something that I wish I could see happening there. I had like a very, very nice reflection this other day when, really I was just reflecting about how, people really can be independent from a very young age in Finland, and how I feel that, and just because of the support that KELA and the opportunity to, get paid, even if you don't have a degree, give the young people. And when I compare it to different countries, aka my country, in Mexico, you don't get that kind of support from the government. So basically, you are reliant on your parents, and you are reliant on the support that your family gives you. Like, in Mexico, it is your family, it is your parents, like the people that support you. And if you cannot rely on your parents, if you cannot rely on your friends, if you cannot rely on your family to provide you that kind of support is very rarely gonna come from the state, at least not in the level as I have been seeing in Finland. Does the Mexican government give scholarships for people to study abroad? Yeah, those are existing. I never got one of those, and my parents paid all of my, expenses of being here by them getting their own loans and whatever. But yes, I'm not saying that the Mexican government does not give any type of support, but definitely when I compare it, I kind of like feel whether, when I compare these two things, it's like, wow, like in Finland, a person can be so independent since they are like very, very young because they have KELA. Like with KELA, a person in Finland who is a resident of the types that I already told, or who is a citizen, is not gonna die of hunger. It's not gonna just be homeless, or it is not gonna, not have nothing to eat or anything like that, because KELA exists. So, in Finland, I feel also it's kind of like easier to build a family because your kids are gonna be supported. Even if as a parent, you don't have enough economic resources, to support as maybe as you wish the future of your kid, KELA is, there to stand behind these people, these citizens. Whereas in Mexico, you just need your family. Your family, it's the people that are behind you. Because if your family is not behind you, then you don't have the support. So that was like a very good reflection. I'm not sure did it really came a lot to the topic, but I feel just specifically to this point how in Finland, and it's the last time that I'm gonna repeat it, but how in Finland really KELA gives the possibility for youngsters to become very much independent and not depend in their parents. And by not depending in their parents, then they have more these, freedom to make their own decisions and to decide for their own life. Whereas, for example, when I compare it in Mexico, we don't have anything like KELA. And we rely on family. So, you don't become as independent as fast. Well, it doesn't mean that you cannot. Of course, there are exceptions and you can definitely do. But usually it is not the case, because in Mexico, if you don't have a degree, it's very hard that you are going to get some sort of well-paid job. And even when you have a degree, then you have to start collecting this experience and this and that and that. So, in Mexico, the family, it's really strong there that, there's so many youngsters that they live for a very, very long time in their parents' home. And like, you know, the buying a house, it is like a very, very big step, usually supported by families. Sometimes when they have, you know, been working a lot, then maybe they don't need that kind of support. But, you know, it's just a comparison of how in Finland there is KELA, and that gives just so much support and freedom and autonomy to youngsters, and how that can be different in other countries such as mine. But yes, so let's continue. The 54th thing that I love about Finland, it's the taxing system, and I think I'm just gonna keep it short. Now, do I love that Finland has that kind of taxes and that I am paying like over 30% of my salary goes to taxes? No, I do not love that. I think not this year. Like last year, I was paying something like 35% of my salary went to taxes. But this year, no. This year I'm paying less taxes because I'm also like not earning like as much as last year. I'm doing like less work than last year. So in Finland, the taxing system works in a way that the more you earn, the more taxes you pay. So if you are earning like, very little throughout the year, you can even have like a 0% tax. Or you can have like an 8% tax, a 15% tax, a 20% tax. But then like, the more you earn, the more tax you have to pay. And I mean, I personally like this thing. I feel that when I really see like in what kind of country Finland is, I am like, you know what, like 100%. Do I feel extremely happy to pay all those taxes? No, but I see what are the, what kind of healthcare system there is in Finland, what kind of like security, how clean the country is, the type of education, the type of support that the government offers to its people. So I am like, you know what, whatever, take my money. It's all right. I mean, it is all right. I can trust that the government is gonna make use of that money in the way that they see it's best fit. So I'm just happy to pay the taxes. And I think the only thing that I maybe like don't necessarily love a lot, it's how like people start thinking that, okay, well, the higher, the more money I make, the more taxes I'm gonna pay. So there is a point where people really feel that, okay, so if I'm gonna pay more taxes and I'm gonna do more work, like why would I do that? Like, why would I work my ass off to have like a higher pay if at the end of the day I have to, I'm just making more working hours. And yes, I am earning a lot, but because my taxes are increasing, then I'm also actually like earning less. And it's taking, there's a point where it just working more doesn't equal earning necessarily that much money because your tax percentage is increasing. So I see that a lot of people, they are like, well, it's not worth it. Like, I just want like an okay job where I can pay like an okay percentage for my taxes, but that's it. And I don't know. I personally don't love that, but I understand that. And I mean, I do like and I do appreciate the fact that, people that maybe like earn less amount of money in a year pay less taxes. However, I am not sure how do I feel about people willingly deciding to stay in the, lower level of income. And it's, I say like lower because it's not really like low, but lower level of income, relying more in KELA, relying more in the, lower tax rates, just because if they would earn more, then they have to pay more. And it's like, that's the thing that I really do not like, when people just try to leverage the system and see like, okay, how can I use the system in my advantage? Instead of just, simply going with the system and trusting that the money that's being paid to taxes is going to be used for something good. And, the more people the more the people want to advance in their careers and earn more money and, pay more taxes, I feel like more people should be, having a growth mindset. Instead of like, oh, how can I leverage the system and how can I still get like all of the support and how can I make sure that I pay, the least taxes? It's up to people. I personally don't like that. But overall, I do like the taxing system, and I do appreciate a lot that people that earn less money are not required to pay the same amount of taxes compared to people that earn a lot of money. So, and the last point of this video is the thing number 55, and that is the tax returns. And in Finland, I love it that, yes, there is a different levels of tax percentage that you have to pay according to the income that you have. But I feel something that's like super beautiful is that everything is kind of like done online. You just have this form, you have like your access to your own tax account that you get through your ID and your bank credentials. So you just, as a person, you have like your own tax account that you get access through your like ID and through your bank credentials. And then every year, kind of like the tax office always, registers how much you are getting from your work. And then obviously you receive a tax card at the beginning of the year where you kind of like inform the tax office like, okay, tax office, in this year, I feel I'm gonna earn this amount of money. And then the tax office is like, okay, good for you. So I'm going to give you this percentage because this is what you're telling me that you're gonna earn in this year. And then how it works is that you inform the tax office, you get your tax card, you give the tax card to your employer, then your employer pays you, and then they pay the taxes to the tax office. And then after the year has passed, for example, last year 2020 has passed, then you receive a preliminary kind of like paper that you can also check online where it tells how much you have earned during the year and how much taxes have you paid. And it kind of like counts everything. Obviously, like the only thing that people should be careful with is that if you said that you're gonna earn X amount of money and that's why you have X percentage of tax, and if you exceed it, it kind of like the tax percentage really goes like to the top. Maybe if you're paying like a 30% on taxes, it will like after that, like if you go above your limit, the one that you inform, like your tax percentage, it's gonna go like, to the ceiling, and it's gonna be like 40%, and you're gonna be like, what? But yeah, other than that, so every year, once the whole year has gone, you receive this paper where you can check, where has your money come from? What has you, what have you paid on taxes? And you get the opportunity to make all these like tax deductions. For example, something that I'm not sure, I don't think this was a thing before COVID, but for example, this year, we got the possibility to make tax deductions if you were working from home. There was like a certain amount of money that you could request on tax deductions because you were working from your home and you were occupying your home space to do your work. And depending on how much did you do work from home, you could ask different compensations. I think that it was something like if you did more than 50% of the time working from home, you could ask up to 900 euros on tax returns. Tax deductions, not tax returns, but tax deductions. And then if it was like less than 50% of the time, it was like 450. And then if it was something like, very little, something like 20% or something, it was something like 200 or 250 euros, something around that line. And so you get the chance to, check all your tax deductions and do all of the things. And then once the tax office has calculated everything, they make their own calculations. And if you paid more taxes compared to what you actually ended up earning, for example, for 2020 that has already passed, people make all these calculations, inform all these deductions, and usually people get the tax returns paid on August of the following year. Now, if for some reason you didn't inform in time, you're gonna get it even later this year, as it is my case, because I didn't know. Before this year, I had absolute no clue of how tax deductions worked. When someone told me that, you could deduce, you know, all these things because you were, you know, like working from home, and these could go like, you know, as equipment for that you bought for your work and things like that. This is the first year that I put tax deductions. Before this year, I have never known anything about it. I just put like, I'm gonna earn this much this year. And then I just wait for the paper and I was like, yeah, that's good. And then it either like happened that you get a notification that you're gonna get tax returns like that are this much and you get paid on that, you know, tax return day. Well, you don't get paid, but you get your taxes like back, that money back. Or then you just get a notification that unfortunately you paid too little taxes and here's your invoice, make sure to pay it. And I mean, what I personally love about this tax return system is that it's very, very clear. For me, it has been very hassle-free. I just, you know, wait for the paper to come, check that, okay, yes, that is that. And then the tax office actually like makes its own job. And then I just, you know, I have to do nothing and I get my tax returns back. Which is something, for example, that I've heard that in Mexico, you normally have to, you know, go with an accountant, and it is the accountant that kind of like tells you like, okay, you know, you can do this and you can like, you know, deduce this and you can do that. And I love it sort of like how in Finland, there is just like this one system. And it is very fair. You know, if you want to dive deeper into all of the details and see what are all the things that you can deduce tax from, you can do that. But even if you wouldn't do that, this is the first year that I did that. But before, I have never done that. It's very simple. And for me, it was like just very, very easy to, you know, just be like receiving I usually always tend to receive something on tax returns, and that was very, very beautiful in my perspective. And I love that it is hassle-free. It's just like you do your work, you kind of like project how much you're earning that year, and then you just have to wait and get the tax returns back, or then just get the invoice, and you don't have to move a finger. Like literally, for many years, I didn't move a finger. I just got like the paper and I looked at it. I was like, this sounds good. And then I just waited and I got notification of, you know, how much I was going to get in tax returns. And that's something that I deeply love about Finland. So I know that this video was more of, you know, student support, kind of like the support that the Finnish government gives through its organization KELA, and all these like taxing things. But I think this is just something that it's extremely beautiful from Finland as a country. And while it might not be, you know, all of, you know, these more general topics as, you know, food and kind of like more common things, these were maybe more in the boring side of things. But these are things that I really, really appreciate from this country, and that I really, really love it. So I really just wanted to share it for the people that find my videos, that, you know, they can maybe like learn faster things that I probably didn't learn on the first year that I was living here. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'm super excited making this type of series. I'm not sure how many more videos this is gonna take me, but I'm not in a hurry. I really wanna have these videos as a guide for people that really wanna learn more about this country. So I like to take my time, and I hope that you find these videos useful. And I'm gonna, you know, start having more of the, you know, like 100 things that I love about Finland, part whatever. And then maybe some, you know, more chill video where I maybe like share with you some of my experiences, of some of my stories or some of my tips, and then I just kind of like come back to these like 100 things, which it has been like a very, very nice topic. I'm very, very happy for the good reception that these videos have got. And nothing, I'm just very, very excited. I hope you have a beautiful May. The summer is coming in Finland. And I am so excited for the summer. I can definitely see myself filming some videos outside, because summer in Finland, it's beautiful. And I can't wait to also, you know, be outside and film videos outside and show you how gorgeous this country is in the summer. But until the summer comes, I hope you have a beautiful May, as I said, and I hope to see you in my next video. So see you then. Bye.